Hola familia, this week we're gonna make a ball gouge, okay? This is a 3/8, no matter the size, you can do it whatever. And about the material, which is the first step, there are several different ways to get it. This kind of struts or whatever it calls, which are usually in the back door of the cars, have a really good steel in the bar, okay? If you use these ones, you have to well, I don't know the name, but you have to make it red with fire, then leave it cold in a normal temperature, and then after shape and everything, you have to temper the steel. In this case, a while ago, I bought these three drill bits. I bought it in in Harbor Freight for $8. It cost $10 with a 20% discount was $8. And in this case I get this one was too long for what I need, so I cut it, and with the piece that is left over is with the one I use for the ball gouge. So usually the drill bits are tempered just at the tip, this part, not the bar. So we can go straight on to work with it. Then we are going to use the mini forge that we did a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to retemper the steel to make it stronger and hold the edge a little bit better. So it's not a difficult process. Let's go and do a ball gouge. Well, we are going to begin. Please wear gloves and glasses for protection in this step. This is very important. We are going to use two discs. One is for cutting steel, and what we're going to do is make a center cut that is going to drive us through the process. So this is the most critical step to have the correct shape. It can be done with a mill or milling machine, but I don't have it, so we're going to do it with a grinder, an angle grinder. So after this, when we have our cut, now take your time and go slowly, not just because we don't want to overheat the steel, but because this is critical. This is the most important step. It has to be symmetric, and it have to be as good as we can. So take your time, go slowly, cool the steel with some water, and be sure that the profile is correct. So slowly, take your time and go, gently. And now when we finish with the angle grinder, we are gonna complete it with a file to have the perfect profile. As I said, this is critical. Once we have the flute finished, we are going to go to the grinder to shape the edge. But at this point, we don't, as you can see there, the profile is, let's say, it's not perfect, of course, but as good as I can. So at this point, when we use our jig, we are holding on the round bar. So it's useful if you get a magnet, you place it on the flute, and then it will help you to get absolutely perpendicular and repeat the grinding process every time you need. So now here we are going to establish our shape, but we don't want it sharp. So I'm going to arrive to the sharp, but I'm going to kill the edge, because if I leave the edge when we go to the next step, it's gonna become brittle. So there we have. Now we go to the mini forge. As you can see, I did some updates. One was this wood piece that is gonna hold firmly the torch in place, and the other one is the base that I did for the mini forge to have it far from the wood or whatever. Once the steel is not magnetic, it's not magnetic anymore, we leave it a little bit more, and then we place straight onto oil, and then we're going to use our oven and 400 degrees for an hour. And after that step, you see, it's a little bit have a little bit of dirt from the oil that is burned now, so we can use a steel disc, as you can see there, to remove all the oil, and then we go back to the grinder to sharpen it. So now, even being just a little bit less what we left before the tempering, now it takes much more time. But once we have it, we change from the coarse grit to the fine grit, and once in here, just 1 or 2 passes and it's done. And it's time to go to the lathe to tray it. I'm going to use an aluminum handle that I have around, that I use for my other tools. Then I think this is a perfect one for traying. And I have a piece of walnut there to tray. I can tell you, of course it's not a commercial one, but I can tell you that it's really works very, very good. As I said, no complaints at all. Of course it's not a Thompson tool, I know that, but it works perfect, so I'm very, very happy with it. Well, if you have any comments, just leave it down below. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up. And if anybody can and want to help the channel, here's the Patreon button just down below. Thank you very much for being with me this time, and I'll see you in the next project. Bye bye.